arguing about that.
All right.
We're arguing the campaign she ran. They asked her what she would do differently. She said, I can't think of anything. That's terrible.
Bill Maher just exploded on Donna Brazile for lying about Kamala Harris's loss. He just won't stand a false narrative, especially about Kamala Harris. Let's take a look at how it went down.
That she ran a great campaign. She did not run a great campaign, and you're going to keep losing if you insist that she ran a great campaign.
I'm saying
that, look,
one of the most historic elections just wrapped up, but the dust isn't settling, it's only getting thicker. Both sides are spinning their own narratives, but Bill Maher isn't buying the fiction. That's exactly how this heated debate kicked off, with Donna Brazile fighting an uphill battle to defend Kamala Harris, or maybe the entire Democratic Party. And then Maher dropped the hammer. Donna, you can't just make things up. The numbers don't lie, and if the Democrats don't wake up, it is going to be a disaster. The crowd was in disbelief. For a moment, everyone was in shocking silence. But how did it all start?
Al Gore had a team of professionals who knew the government, knew where...
But they didn't do it.
No, look, they left the government. I was part of that effort on Capitol Hill and the administration.
Donna Brazile, former DNC chair, went on Real Time with Bill Maher, expecting an easy ride. Instead, she got demolished by the truth. In a desperate move, Donna blamed the media for Kamala's nosediving approval ratings. Yes, because apparently it's the media's fault that voters don't like Kamala. There is more story than meets the eye. When Bill stated that Kamala didn't run a great campaign at all, Donna's face turned into a chili pepper. Oops, he did it again, didn't he? But when Donna mentioned poor media coverage of Kamala's campaign, it was like she stepped on Maher's toes.
Mr. President, when you spoke to President Trump yesterday, Mr. President, shifting our campaign strategy, Mr. President,
So what exactly does Bill think Donna is lying about? Well, for some, it's plain as day. Joe Biden, before he stepped down, was definitely one of the most hated presidents of all time. Giving his spot to Kamala didn't change things much. She still was the most disapproved vice president of the 21st century. So why did the Democrats think she could make a difference? Maher wasn't holding on to these opinions. Instead, he opened the eyes of his audience, giving them the exact reason why Kamala lost in the first place.
But I'm not going to get into this, oh, the people are too damn woke. That wasn't an issue. What happened?
Yeah, it was.
I disagree with you.
I know, and that's why you're going to keep losing.
No, man.
Giving them some well-needed, cold hard truth. No, it wasn't poor media coverage, as Donna said. It was actually all the unanswered questions people were asking Kamala Harris, and she never gave them the answer. Do you know why? Because she doesn't know them as well. Maher made a point that she just couldn't make a connection with the audience, and no time in the world could make that right. The statement that made Bill's audience grasp is the exact one Kamala gave to the press when they asked her what she could do differently if she was elected as a United States president. She said, I can't think of anything. Wow. Imagine having a president who doesn't know what to do with all that power. Probably one of the biggest turndowns and the moment where many Democrats had to turn to the Republican side, not because they loved Trump, but because he had some tangible ideas for the future of the country. Right at this point, Donna was smaller than an ant.
And
inflation, immigration.
Those two are very big issues. And you asked Vice President Harris,
right,
why did you let all these people in for the last 4 years? She did not have an answer. I still don't know.
One more bombshell was dropped on Real Time with Bill Maher, and this one hit hard. Andrew Sullivan, the voice of reason, slid into the debate with his sharp takes on politics, handing Bill even more ammunition. He didn't sugarcoat it. He called out the blatant lie that Joe Biden is fully prepared for another 4 years. Let's be real, folks. He's an 82-year-old grandpa with serious health concerns. That's not speculation. That's just facts. But the real kicker is Kamala Harris. When she was VP, people demanded answers about the border crisis. Why were millions pouring in? What was the plan? And what did she say? Nothing. Just like she has no answers now. People are talking, and so is the media. They just love these stories, and, you know, stories tend to go viral. Enough material to crush one poorly guided campaign. It wouldn't be the first time. Howard Dean's 2004 campaign, for instance, collapsed like a house of cards due to the media's involvement.
respond to that in any way. She had no answer on inflation, and she also seemed to represent that whole woke zone that people are sick to death of. And I think those three did it.
The audience was all in for this one. Bill Maher had Donna speechless more than once. Not just Bill, for instance. Sullivan nailed it when he gave two more questions Kamala never answered to the public, and that is inflation, and that she represented the whole woke zone, which makes people sick anyway. So basically, her campaign had no legs from day one. We are not taking sides here. It is how it is, and the facts are pointing out that Kamala never had a contingency plan, and that bombshell was dropped by one of the leaders of the Biden-Harris campaign, Quentin Fulks. Cringe much?
7 days was more than enough time. That's a stupid excuse in my view, that it wasn't enough time. If anything, our election should be like Britain and like other countries. They don't need 100 days.
So this is Donna Brazile, clinging to Kamala's campaign like her life depended on it. No matter how many cold, hard facts Maher and his guests laid out, she refused to budge, ignoring truths so obvious even a kid could see them. But then it was Bill's turn, and you know he didn't water down a thing. His takedown of Harris's campaign was brutal, and social media went into meltdown mode. He called out her total disconnect from voters, her awkward presence, and the two giant elephants in the room, immigration and inflation, issues she either dodged completely or fumbled beyond belief. And then Maher dropped the hammer. Looks like she was getting campaign advice from crickets. Savage. Bill believes that exactly this casualty and refusal to discuss the real problems is what drives people away. If Democrats want to win, they have to leave their echo chambers and hear the hard truths.
I think we'll see a Democratic. We've had three. We've had Geraldine Ferraro as a nominee, Hillary Clinton as a nominee, Kamala Harris as a nominee. We will have a Democratic female president in my lifetime.
I say...
In desperate times, seek desperate measures. The media and the DNC are stuck in denial mode. They refuse to acknowledge the obvious. Instead of fixing their messaging, they attack the voters, saying they're sexist or racist for not supporting Kamala. But let's be real, Hispanics and black voters are moving away from the Democrats. Are they all racist too? Bill made a point when he said people care about crime, the economy, and the border crisis. Kamala has failed to deliver on all of these. That's why she's unpopular. Maher knows it. The voters know it. But the Democratic establishment, they're pretending it's not happening.
There was no model for the campaign that she had to run. Look, on July 21st at 1:41 p.m., when Joe Biden announced that he was going to step down, Kamala Harris had to step up.
Just before the show ended, Maher said, if the Democrats want to win, they need to be honest about their problems. Pretending Kamala is a strong candidate isn't helping. It's hurting. Boom. Mic drop. Game over. Mrs. Brazile was caught red-handed on the live TV show in front of millions of viewers. We get the defending part, but why stick with it when the obvious is right there? The truth is that Kamala Harris was never a strong candidate. She dropped out of the 2020 race before the primaries even began. Why? Because voters weren't interested. They tried to give Harris a fresh image, but the numbers tell a different story. Her approval ratings have been sinking since she stepped into office.
That was telling us with a straight face that Joe Biden could be president for 4 more years without any problem whatsoever. That's what the Democrats were telling us. It was a massive lie.
The facts are out there, and the public isn't buying the excuses anymore. Is Kamala truly being unfairly attacked, or are Democrats just trying to cover up? Drop a comment below and let's talk about it. And hey, if you're here for the raw truth, make sure to like and subscribe.